Hi, this is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. We want to start a topic today that speaks about how to build people as a pastor in your church. How to build people as a pastor in your church. And we want to speak about this because it is very, very important that people get built in the church. People get informed and given opportunity to grow in the church, because that's the only way that the church will be driven up to success. And I'm speaking about this because it is very important that we show pastors of the importance of growing and the importance of getting to a level where you become somebody who becomes a driver of change in your own church, so that there can be progress in everything that you do. Taking some time to build people up in the church is a very, very serious task that is very important. And every pastor and every pastoral team need to do that. And of course, we're including that the pastor should be able to build the people, including their own leadership teams. Very, very important that we must also focus on this type of assignment, which every single pastor in their church, if they want their church to succeed, if they want their vision to actually be driven to success, they need to really build the people around them so that the people can be able to take over the work and be able to work towards fulfilling the vision. This is very key that we emphasize also that every gift in the ministry, every gift in the church must be channeled towards building and discipling people for the Lord. So every single department in the church, every single individual who's gifted in the church, it must be that those gifts are channeled in order to build others, so that we can have strong people that are driving the vision of the church. So therefore, discipling others is very important. So if somebody is gifted in a certain way, maybe in music, they must be able to disciple others to be able to grow within that line as well, so that we can have more people that are developing within that line. If we are having people that are gifted in preaching in the church, the same. They must be able to disciple others so that we have more preachers of the word in the church. So discipling others then becomes very key if we are going to develop other people in our churches. Now, as a pastor, this must be a priority, that we develop other people, and therefore discipling others becomes a priority in that regard. The benefits of enormous. The benefits are very enormous for building people, and for now and for eternity as well, because many times churches come and go. Churches actually fail along the way is because not enough people have been developed so that they can be able to carry through the work even after the visionary is long gone. So the vision can be sustained only when people have been trained and developed into running the ministry, or knowledge of how to run things in the ministry even after the visionary is long gone. Building and discipling people is a hard work. It's not an easy thing. And that's the reason why it must be intentional. It must be something that is taken very seriously and not light. And it's something that must be considered to be put into program. That's with intention, of course, to say we want to develop people. Therefore, we put these plans and these programs in advance for us to be able to achieve. And there must be those type of plans with a forecast of results of what you want to achieve. So it is therefore very, very key that you put up those programs, because it's not easy. It is a hard work to develop people. It must be also mentioned that as much as it's a hard work, but it's actually very valuable hard work, because as a result, the results that are coming thereafter are very, very important, that you are going to benefit out of them. Now, it is actually a must-do work. It is actually a very necessary work. It's a needed work to develop other people. So it is actually, without doubt, if you want to develop your church to see it progressive, so you have to develop people. Today, I want to just mention that in order to develop people in your church as a pastor, you as a pastor must be able to grow personally, and you must also grow professionally as well. This is one of the things that's very important in developing people. And I've always emphasized the fact that a church is not only a spiritual body, but it's also a professional body, in the sense that it must be run professionally, but also it needs professional skills to run it. remember that there's a lot of dynamics in the church. It's not only the spiritual part. You're dealing with people in physical realm. You're dealing with people also psychologically. You're dealing with people actually physically, as I said, but also spiritually. And therefore, the whole being needs a lot of work around in order to make those people develop in a way that they are going to benefit the church. Therefore, when you attend to the people, you don't attend to them only spiritually, but you consider their physical being as well. And hence, you need some professionals that will be able to actually be able to develop the physical part of the people. And you also deal with psychological part of the people in the church. So therefore, you need some professionality or a professional understanding of how to deal with psychology of the people. So it's all these things that are bringing the dynamism in the church, social aspects of human beings as well that you're dealing with in the church. And I'm sure you would realize that also when you don't have the sociology of things as well, you may not even understand how to deal with different individuals. And that is why some of the churches then become a failure, because as much as we want the church to progress, but if we don't build the people, we don't develop them, and in different ways, so therefore we're not going to be successful. Now the pastor therefore need to grow both personally and also professionally, and this is very, very important. And we don't only look at the spiritual aspect of a pastor, whereby you are able to pray, you are able to understand the word, you are able to interpret the word. It must be also in a professional manner where you understand how to deal with the people professionally as well. Very, very important. Your growth will be the growth of your work as well. And because as you do things professionally in the vision and in the ministry, you are able actually to attract the majority of the people to come and submit. And remember that also as a pastor, you are leading people, some that are in professional space, some that are more academic and educated, even much more than yourself. But when you are able to embrace being professional and you grow professionally as well, you are able actually to manage such people as well and make sure that you lead them and they are ready to be led by you because of the level of professionalism that you have. And of course, the level of growth personally that you have as well. You are able to impact them. Because it's very important actually as a pastor to be ahead of your people in knowledge, in growth and knowledge, ahead of your people with knowledge of, with growth in wisdom as well. And that is the reason why people will submit under you despite of their level of education, despite of their professional achievements. They are able to submit under you because you are yourself grown maturely, personally, and also professionally as well. It's very, very important. So you cannot give what you don't have. Remember that, because you need to be knowledgeable yourself in order to impart knowledge to the people. You need to be professional yourself in order to impart professionality upon the people. You need to be psychologically sound in order to advise people psychologically. And that's the reason why I always advise pastors that don't only be one-sided. Lead, actually be a full package of yourself, whereby you've learned politically, you've learned psychologically, you know what's happening. You've learned economics as well, that you understand the things around economics as well. So all the aspects of life should be a full package of you, whereby you are able to impact the people, because you cannot be able to impart what you don't have. You cannot give what you don't have. So therefore, it is very important that you become an overall rounded person in a sense of learning, and be ready to open up your mind to learn, because there are opportunities of learning in the life that we're living in. Remember that there are some studies that one can do. There are some mentorship classes that one can do. There are also people that have actually walked the path that can be your mentors, people that can lead you, people that can hold you by hand and teach you to understand how to manage individuals, how to deal with people, how to attend to social aspect of the people, how to attend to the psychological aspect of the people. And all these dynamics, they become very, very important for a leader like a pastor to be having that, so that you can be able to lead to a church properly. So therefore, building the people can only be achieved when you yourself are built and you are grown personally and you're grown also professionally. You can also impart something into people because you are able to know what to impart upon them. And people learn out of you. And you'll realize that when people are sitting in your church and under your leadership, people become so comfortable because they know that they can learn every time from you. And if people think that they cannot learn, that is why churches then run empty, because people walk away because there's nothing that they benefit out of you. And that is why it's a big task for a pastor then to go all out to learn, to be ahead of their own congregation in knowledge, so that when you want to build the people, you build them with something that you know. You build the people with something that is a specialty in your life, that you understand clearly, and you are able actually to assign, to teach the people that. Now, developing the people would mean as well that you need to make sure that you develop people in a sense that they can be able to engage themselves in the church, be able to engage with activities of the church as well, and be able to impart the knowledge unto others as well. But this is done only when you as a pastor have been able to teach them, you've been able to develop the people, have you been able to grow yourself personally and also professionally to impart knowledge to the people, and the people are knowledgeable enough where they can actually also operate independently. It is very important that also we come to a point where we understand that we're developing the people for the benefit of being able to run the church, even in our absence as leaders. You cannot actually have the people relying totally on you, and they are not able actually to run in your absence. Very, very important. So you cannot lead the people further than you have gone yourself. So therefore, go a little bit further. Actually, stretch yourself, learn a bit more, read books, and develop yourself actually mentally, develop yourself professionally as well. Be able to present yourself in a way that can be palatable and attractive to the people, so that people can actually see you as a role model and an example and want to follow the footsteps of what you've done. So it is therefore very important. And if we become blatant about it, pastors should be educated. We must be blatant about it. Pastors should study and understand things. And it must not only be studying in regards to the Bible studies, but it must be also study economics, study some political understanding, have a political understanding of some sort. And as I said, studying doesn't necessarily mean you must go to a formal school. It's actually meaning that you should actually read and learn and actually be able to be on par with the trends of today, so that you can be able to catch up with the trends of today. And you can therefore impart what you have, because you cannot impart what you don't have. This is very important that we emphasize this topic, because developing people in or building people in our churches is very, very important. I want to end up here today. Your host, Micornus Phokane. Thank you very much for listening to us. This was part 1, of course, of this topic, and we will continue with part 2 tomorrow. Please also like our social networks, our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane, Facebook page, Church Governance Solutions. Like those pages, click notification buttons so that you may be notified when we've posted videos of this kind. But also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Very, very important. And we have posted a lot of materials there in the past that will be very useful for you as well. You will learn, you will be empowered, you'll be able also to develop others based on what you have. As we have said earlier, that you cannot impart what you don't have. I want to end up here right now, and allow me to check out and say cheers for now.